The House Democrats passed $900 million in new taxes off the House floor recently. What were some of those taxes, and who will they impact?
I think you'll find this irritating, but the tax on bottled water, remember the one we voted down? Well, they want to put that back in. It's going to be a new tax on tourism and travel operators, and that'll hurt. Probably the worst one of all is the B&O tax on a whole bunch of different, what they call service occupations. But listen to just some that I know my constituents are in these so-called, service activities. Crop production. Really? Food? Animal production and aquaculture, forestry and logging, fishing, hunting and trapping, support activities for ag and forestry, construction of buildings. Really? Don't we have enough people who've been out of work for a couple years now, waiting to get back to work in construction? Why on earth would we tax that industry again? Wood product manufacturing, printing. Have you tried to get something printed lately? I mean, you try to get anything printed in bulk and it's just sky high. It's because of our taxes and regulations. It's just a real problem, all these taxes that they keep putting on. Why can't they live within their means? The Senate came up with a budget that didn't raise taxes. It did fund education and caring for the vulnerable and public safety. The House Republicans came up with a budget to do the same, but the House Democrats are just refusing. They're digging their feet into the ground and they're saying, no, we want more and more funding.
You worked on an amendment to take off the emergency clause of the bill. Now, the amendment failed, but this is an important concept. Why is that?
So this is something new I learned recently, actually. It always kind of bugged me when you see bills that have an emergency clause on it and you can tell darn straight that it's not an emergency. I always wondered about that. Well, guess what I learned? I found out this week that the emergency clause prevents the voters from running an initiative or a referendum to change that bill. So essentially, it's like putting duct tape on your mouths while they're robbing you blind. So you can't even cry out in opposition to it.
It doesn't look like the legislature will adjourn on time. What was one of the biggest obstacles?
Well, like I said, Democrats are just digging their heels into the ground. They're refusing to budge. And when we've got $1.2, $1.3 billion difference between the budget that the senators have passed and the budget that the House passed. So how do you make that match up? And especially when the governor himself said he didn't believe that raising taxes was the right thing to do in this economy. I mean, now you've got him kind of waffling on what he wants to do. And because he's left taxes on the table now, we've got so many places, it's just how many taxes do we want to include? How big is the pie going to be, and how much more of your wallet are they going to take? So that's where we are, and it could be solved in a few days, but I doubt it. Some are saying we'll be down here for a long time.